I dislike my wife. We've been together for 15 years and married for the last 3. We have a beautiful 3-year-old daughter together. The past 3 years have been incredibly difficult for both of us. It all started about 5 years ago, just before the pandemic. I was working a decent job making $70K a year, but since we were living near the DC area, it didn't go very far. When we found out we were pregnant with our daughter in the middle of the pandemic, I realized we needed to leave our subpar apartment and move to a nicer, safer neighborhood to build a better life. My then fiancé wasn't working at the time, so I decided to switch careers. I transitioned into the IT field and became a software developer in about 6 months. I got my first developer job around the time our daughter was born, and my fiancé and I were thrilled. We moved to a nicer apartment in a good area and started a new chapter. My fiancé wanted to have our wedding in our birth country, as she had a lot of extended family there. After doing the math, I realized the wedding would cost us about $70K. I told her I'd need to work extra and take on multiple contracts to cover the costs. We both agreed to this, and I took on 3 different jobs for about a year until 3 weeks before the wedding date. During this time, my fiancé started complaining that I wasn't giving her enough attention and that I was neglecting her. Keep in mind, I work from home and don't go to an office. We had several arguments about it, and I explained that I was exhausted from working multiple contracts and that I needed her to understand. Whenever I wasn't working, I spent the little free time I had with her and our daughter. However, my fiancé became increasingly passive-aggressive, giving me the cold shoulder and refusing to communicate. She even accused me once of not satisfying her intimately anymore, which really hurt. I mean, I've had a few bad moments, but hearing her say that out loud just stung. More than that, her cold shoulder treatment and making me ask 1,000 times what was wrong before she'd finally talked to me made me start disliking the person she had become. I felt like she was being selfish and not understanding the stress I was under to provide a good life for our family. We both grew up in low-income families in East Africa, and I'm trying to ensure she and our daughter don't have to struggle as we did. Despite these concerns and disagreements, we got married 3 years ago and have since bought a house in a very affluent neighborhood where we can raise our daughter and provide for her. My salary has jumped from $70K about 4 years ago to about $400K a year now. Yet, despite everything, my wife and I continue to fight. I feel like she doesn't understand the stress and sacrifices I make for this family and doesn't show any appreciation. She feels like I neglect her and don't give her enough love anymore. And I agree with her because I'm so tired of her unappreciative attitude. I don't like the person she has become. It feels like she thinks what I do is easy. I even told her that to make this relationship work, we both need to put in the effort, but she insists that she's done nothing wrong and that I'm the one who needs to fix this marriage. But I'm exhausted. I feel like I have 2 children in the house. Husbands who have been through something similar or who have been married for many years. Is this what marriage is like? I've always heard that marriage is hard work, but is this a common issue? For your information, I'm not cheating or anything. I just don't find her attractive, not physically as a person anymore, because of her ugly personality. Please help.